Some quotes from Jimmy Page. Our intent with Led Zeppelin was not to get caught up in the singles market, but to make albums where you could really flex your muscles, your musical intellect, if you like, and challenge yourself. I liked the Sex Pistols' music. I thought it was superb. My first guitar was like a campfire guitar, and it was left at a house that my family had moved into. And the guitar was at the house. It was all strung up. It's normally something that would be beyond a bit of rubbish. We were lucky in the days of Led Zeppelin. Each album was different. We didn't have to continue a formula or produce a certain number of singles. Because, in those days, radio was still playing albums. That was really good. I'm always looking for the creative spark. Always. I may not believe in myself, but I believe in what I'm doing. I believe every guitar player inherently has something unique about their playing. They just have to identify what makes them different and develop it. I'm just looking for an angel with a broken wing. Isolation doesn't bother me at all. It gives me a sense of security. Playing in my early bands, working as a studio musician, producing, and going to art school was, in retrospect, my apprenticeship. I was learning and creating a solid foundation of ideas, but I wasn't really playing music. In the 1960s and into the 70s, everyone in their own way was trying to open up the musical horizon. There shouldn't be a wall that you're going toward and bouncing off. That's one of the problems with the Zeppelin stuff. It sounds ridiculous on MP3. You can't hear what's there properly. Boogie Chillin' by John Lee Hooker, that is a riff. I prefer to hear an artist's work and what they can do, so as far as I'm concerned, I'd get a lot more out of a collection of songs to be able to understand what the musician is doing. The only way to have time is to shut down and then do what you want to do. From the first album, Led Zeppelin was always going to be a totally new approach from what had gone before it, whether it was approaching the blues or folk music like Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. Nothing existed like that. The one person who's disappeared out of the business is the A&R man. Because the listener at home becomes the A&R man. He's the one who chooses what tracks he wants on the album. And that's cool. The fourth album encapsulated some remarkable music that was really groundbreaking. We were able to have something like When the Levee Breaks, which sonically was very menacing. But then you had the flip side, something like Going to California, which is really intimate. If I pick up a guitar, I don't practice scales. I never have. I come up with something I haven't done before. New approaches to chord sequences, riffs, rhythms, so it becomes composition. It's not like the music I'm doing is just a single thread. I played guitar all my life, all the way through the Yardbirds. But I knew that for me, this was going to be a guitar vehicle because that's what I wanted it to be. There is no way I would play guitar like a tour de force like I did in Led Zeppelin. The thing about Led Zeppelin was that it was always for musicians at the top of their game, but they could play like a band. My influences were the riff-based blues coming from Chicago in the 50s, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Billy Boy Arnold records. Because somebody plays guitar, why does it mean they need a singer? Because people already have this image of things? No, I'll put my music together, then think about whether I need to embellish it with a singer. Led Zeppelin was an affair of the heart. Each of the members was important to the sum total of what we were. You get a chance like that maybe once in your lifetime, and you are lucky to sustain it over that period of time. It doesn't mean to say that whatever I do in the future has no substance to it. I may present some new material I've got, and there are definitely new angles of doing it, but I'm not out looking to recreate another Led Zeppelin. Do you like the Qoutes? Don't forget to follow, comment, and subscribe.